In this video, we'll take a look at the final step of creating English captions, which is the most important step. It's the step where we review our work, and this step takes the longest because we'll look over our work several times, adjusting the words and the spellings and punctuation, the way that we've grouped the captions, the sync timing. All of this is very important because we are creating captions that will be translated into many languages, and we want to make the work as easy as possible for the translators. So we want to help them to be able to create the translations without having to adjust the sync timing or the phrasing of the captions or the grouping of the captions. So this video is a bit longer because there's a lot to describe in it, but it's the most important step. Completed the second step of sync timing, and what's left to do is the third step, which is to review our work. Now this is where really the work of captioning is. So we check for accuracy to make sure that we've captured the words accurately. We check for the understandability of the way that we've captioned things. So have we broken captions in a place that makes sense grammatically, so that someone reading the captions, whether they're listening or not listening, are they able to easily understand what's being said the way that we've presented it? We check for punctuation. We check that we followed the guidelines for English captioning regarding punctuation, regarding the way that we indicate speakers, regarding character count and read rate. So the guidelines is a tool that you will use throughout captioning. Every time you caption, you will want to have the guidelines available to have a look at so that you can check to make sure that you are following all of the guidelines when you create captions for a video. So let's take a look in this video at the review step and what it's like. I won't go through the entire process perhaps because it can take, even for a short video like this one, it's only 2 minutes long, you may find that you spend hours sometimes reviewing depending on the video. So this video is pretty easy to caption because it's short, but also because there aren't too many places I noticed where we have rapid speech, or we have words that are difficult to hear, or things that are difficult to represent in captions. Some videos have those types of challenges. So let's see how we go. We're done with step 2, so now I'm going to click the button that says Start Review. And when I click this button, not too many things change except the keyboard controls switch back to what we saw with step number 1. So the tab and shift tab to play or pause the video, I just get back in the video, and then shift and enter to insert line breaks. When I did step 1, I did not insert any manual line breaks, and we will likely have to insert some line breaks when we review. So keeping in mind the guidelines, for example, that we don't want more than 50 characters on a single line. So when I look at this line, I can see it's 58 characters long, so we'll have to make some adjustment here. That we don't want more than sort of 60 to 70 characters in a single caption. So I know when I look at this caption that we're going to have to do something here with this caption. We'll have to split it into 2 captions and possibly add some line breaks in those captions. So I'll start by just having a look. We'll press the tab key and we'll see what we have to make changes to.
So what have you attained so far by your own skill?
One thing that I'll do is I'll make this caption go right up to the following caption, and that's because it gives more time for the reader to read what's on the screen. And this gives us a read rate, you can see, of 10.6 characters per second, which is an acceptable read rate. We like to give as much time as possible for a caption to be read. Even 5 or 6 characters per second could be desirable, and we don't want to have more than 15 characters per second. So that's as rapid as we want the read rate to be. Now, I'd mentioned that we like to have 50 characters per line at most, and here we have 58. So I'm going to listen to what he says here again and see if there's a natural pause in the speech.
So what have you attained so far by your own skill?
So this, to me, feels like a natural place to break that line into two lines because there's a pause in speech there and also because it is a break before a prepositional clause. So that's where I'm going to break this line, and again I did that by using shift and the enter key, and that allows me to insert a line break. Also, because I know the questioner answers after this, and this is a question, I'm going to add a question mark. Now I'm going to press tab again and I'm going to listen for when the questioner actually says nothing.
Nothing.
So it was said just then, and I actually think this is an okay place to place it, even though it's slightly after it's said. That's okay. Also, it allows us to keep a read rate of 10.6 for the preceding caption, which I think is good. So I'll leave that for now. Now, you'll notice that this caption, nothing, is quite long. We have a read rate of 3.2. It really isn't necessary for it to be that long, so I'm just going to shorten it a bit. Give us a read rate between 5 and 6, which is pretty good. Now I'm going to press tab again to listen for when the next caption starts.
You're afraid to lose nothing.
So this one could start a little bit sooner. I'm going to listen again.
You're afraid to lose nothing.
We actually like to start the caption slightly after the speech starts, not much, less than a second, just slightly after. So let's just have a look one more time.
You're afraid to lose nothing.
So just about like that. So there's just the briefest pause between the words that are spoken and when the caption appears. And then I'm going to look at the read rate for this one as 7, which is a good read rate. So we'll leave the caption at about that length and we'll continue. I might time this laughter with Muji's laughter. So we could make it a little bit longer just because there's, as I'd mentioned in the first video, there's the laughter from the audience and then from Muji and then from the speaker. So just to show that there's laughter occurring in that time frame, and then we'll continue.
Let's get serious about it.
I'm just going to move this one back slightly, and let's check that.
Let's get serious about it.
And forward just a little bit so it starts just after the speech. And now I'm going to check the read rate. It's 5.9. That's a good read rate. So we'll continue. And there is laughter again. I think I'm going to indicate that because it's, Muji says, let's get serious about it. And then there's laughter. So we have a read rate of 7.7 there, which is fine. Let's look at again and see if this looks all right.
Let's get serious about it.
I'd never looked at it that way before.
So I think that that's all right. I'm just going to listen one more time to what the questioner said.
I'd never looked at it that way before.
I think the questioner actually said, I'd never looked at it that way before. So I'm just going to add the apostrophe D. And check the read rate of this one is 8.6, and that's all right. Even though there's a red exclamation point here from Amara, it's complaining because our line length is 44 characters, and Amara has a preference for 42 characters or less. But a preference for English captions for Muji's videos, which is stated in the guidelines, is under 50 characters. We can put it on a single line, so this is okay. And this read rate of 8.6, we'll just take this caption out a little bit longer to give some more time. So now 7.3 is a good read rate. You could even take it a little bit further, give a little more time. 6.9 looks good. We'll continue.
it is so subtle.
So we can start this one a little bit sooner. Now we know that this caption is too long, so we're going to listen to it once all the way through and listen for where the pauses are.
And it is so subtle that you are turning down the kingdom of eternity for a peanut.
So I think I'm going to try first creating a new caption at the point where we heard the pause. So there's a pause after he says, and it is so subtle. And this line is 64 characters. And I heard a second pause here. So this has 50 characters on the first line. Actually, it'll be one less than that because I can remove that space. 49 characters on the first line, 13 characters on the second. 62 characters is acceptable. So we prefer to have less than 60, but between 60 and 70 is okay. So let's just have a look at this again.
And it is so subtle that you are
Now we're going to move this one back a bit. And we're going to check to make sure this read rate's still all right. 9.5 is okay. Let's just have a listen again.
so subtle that you are turning down the kingdom of eternity for a peanut.
Okay, that looks all right to me. 11.9 is enough, but let's just make it a little bit longer since we can indicate the laughter later, and that's okay. 10.5 is better. So let's have a look here.
It might be
We'll back this one up just a little bit.
it might be a golden peanut.
So we could even start a bit later. So this is where we removed where he says it might be twice, but we're only going to say it once in the caption. And we can see that this line is more than 50 characters, so I'm going to separate it where we've got the comma. There is also a pause in speech there. So that leaves us with 55 characters in the caption. And right now we've got a read rate of 6, which is very good. So let's just have a look at it.
It might be a golden peanut, but something is like this. Until you look,
We'll bring this one back just a bit.
this. Until you look for yourself and you see. Okay, what is being defended?
We're going to back up just a little bit.
Okay, what is being defended? What is being kept? What is it that I'm afraid to?
So we're going to back this one up. So this is where when I was doing the sync timing, I got a little bit behind, and that's okay because we can just fix it here. So I'm just checking the read rate as I go down. 12.2 is a little bit high. Let's have a look at when we're starting this next one. What is it that I'm afraid to lose?
What is it that I'm afraid to lose? And now you're looking and you're seeing.
Now, when he says, what is it that I'm afraid to lose? And then he says, and now you're looking and you're seeing. Those come one right after the other. So I'm going to look to see if there's an opportunity to combine. We have 3 captions here right now. Okay, what is being defended? What is being kept? What is it that I'm afraid to lose? And now you're looking and you're seeing. And I think actually this is one sentence with multiple clauses. I'm going to look at the character count here. So I've got 48 characters, 35. That's too many to combine these two. 35 and 41. That's also really too many characters to combine in a single caption. So I think we need to keep them as 3 separate captions. So now I'm going to look at, if I bring this one back a bit because it comes just after, but keep the read rate at a reasonable level. So now we have 12.2, 11.8. Let's have a look at how this looks.
What is being defended? What is being kept? What is it that I'm afraid to lose? And now you're looking and you're seeing.
So this this caption doesn't actually come up until after he said it. but it may be very difficult to avoid. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring this one back slightly and bring this one back slightly. So what I've done here is I am trying to create some more room or distribute the space here between the captions and attempting to have the syncing be as accurate as I can. But when we have to choose between syncing, that is the words appearing on the screen just after they're spoken, and a read rate that is comfortable, we always choose having a read rate that is comfortable, because it doesn't matter if the words appear on the screen when they're spoken if they disappear too quickly for someone to read. So right now we've got 12.9, 10.3. So we could bring this this one back a bit further now so that the syncing's better. Let's just have a look at what we've got now.
Okay, what is being defended? What is being kept? What is it that I'm afraid to lose? And now you're looking and you're seeing.
So we're going to try to bring it back a little bit further. And let's see. Now we've got 15. I'm going to bring this one, give it a little bit more space at the front. So now we have 13.5, 13.8, which allow us to bring this one back slightly. Let's have a look at this.
Okay, what is being defended? What is being kept? What is it that I'm afraid to lose? And now you're looking and you're seeing.
So I think that's okay, because it's not perfect, but it gives us less than 15 characters per second for each of these two captions. And it also at least puts this last caption in the bunch, and now you're looking and you're seeing on the screen before he completes saying the phrase. So I'm happy with that for the moment. So let's continue now.
So even
We'll back this one up just a bit.
So even this holding on is not
And I'll actually, that was a little too much.
truly true. It's just appearing that there's something to hold on to, something to not let go of.
Okay, so this one we have the line count is okay, and the read rate is okay. This one, the character count for the line is okay. The read rate's a little bit high, but let's have a look at the next one. So this one, a couple of things. One, there are too many characters on a single line. 56 is a bit too long, and the read rate is quite high. So let's first address the characters per line, and we'll listen to see if there's any pause.
Actually true. It's just appearing that there's something to hold on to.
So there isn't really a pause. So I'm going to break it between clauses, and I think that the best place to do that will be here. And I did notice that 13.3, so we could start this one a bit sooner, which will not be synced perfectly. The words may show up just a fraction before the words are spoken, but that gives us a little bit of space because this caption here needs some room. So we're going to back it up a bit without having the preceding one go beyond 15. So that's 13.7. And I'm going to have a look. We have 55 characters in that caption, 27. That's too many for a single caption frame. So we've got to find a way to create space, just like we did before. 15.7 is close. 14.4, 15. Let's have a look at that.
So even this holding on is not actually true. It's just appearing that there's something to hold on to, something to not let go of. just an idea?
Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. This could move back a little bit. All right, so that's I think I'm happy with that.
Is it more than an idea? Is it actually something precious? Or is it just an idea?
So those actually look pretty good to me as they are. We're just going to do a check of the read rate, 5.4, 11.2, and 6.4. We could give a little bit more space to that middle one, borrowing some space from the others. Let's have a look at, see how that looks.
Is it actually something precious? Or is it just an idea?
So I'm pretty happy with that. Now, once I've done this much work in a review, I would save the draft just because we did do a bit of work there and we don't want to lose our work. But we're not quite done. So after I'm done going through the video as we just did, doing a preliminary check for things like grammar, for the caption length, for line length, for read rate, for sync timing. Then I would go through again and repeat that because there will be some things that I missed the first time through. Once I'm done doing that, and I may do that 2 or 3 times, then what I do is I watch the captions without any sound in the video. So I mute the sound. You can do that like this. And you can click on that again to make the bar disappear. And then I would just watch the captions and see if they appear on the screen at a comfortable rate. So for example, I would do this for the entire video, but I'm just going to skip ahead to demonstrate what it looks like when we're in a bit of a tight space. So like here, and I'm just looking to see if I can comfortably read it. So I'm looking to see that I can comfortably read the captions as they appear on the screen, that it doesn't feel rushed. Also, that the way that the captions are broken up when we can't fit a complete sentence in a caption, the way that the sentences are split helps and allows the viewer to understand the meaning of what's being said. So those are the sort of things that I would be looking for. So you can probably tell that this is quite can be quite a finicky step, this one, and it can take a lot of time even for a short video. So I would encourage you not to feel rushed, to take your time, and also to step away and to come back as you go through this review step. So you may go through it a couple of times and then step away from the video, maybe in the next day or a few days later come back and have another look with fresh eyes. It's important to never feel rushed when you do this final step and to take as much time as you need. And we ask before you submit a video for review by proofreaders that you do one final check at the character count and line length and at the read rates. So just clicking through like I'm doing now at each caption to see that after all of your reviewing steps and your editing that you have followed the suggestions of the guidelines for line length less than 50 characters, caption length less than 60 where possible, but less than 70 sort of being a rule, and read write 15 characters per second or less. And once you've gone and done this final step, then you just save your draft one last time. You don't hit the publish button, that will be done by the proofreader. You just save the draft and then send an email to the inbox letting us know that you are submitting the video for review. And then that's it. Thanks again for your time and your patience, and I hope that you enjoy captioning and that you are able to participate in the See if it's right for you.